are live with another episode of Comic Talk. It's that show brought to you by The Key, where we talk about this week's new comic book releases. For those of you who don't know, new DC Comics, Marvel Comics, Indie Comics, Image Comic, Dynamite, everybody, all comics come out in shops every Wednesday. Go to comicshoplocator.com, find a comic shop near you. But new comics come out on Wednesdays, and normally we're here every Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/The Keeg Show to talk about all the comics that we could read in 24 hours that came out that week. But this week was Christmas on Thursday, so, you know, a little busy for some people, and fair enough. So we're here on a Friday, December 26th, 2025, to talk about all the comics that came out 2 days ago. So we got a little bit of extra time to read the things that were on our lists. I'm your host, Dimithri Perera, and if you're watching us live, you're watching us on youtube.com/The Keeg Show, or listening to the podcast wherever you get your podcast from, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff. And if you're watching us live, you can see who our guests are. No matter how you're digesting us, feel free, watch us live or not. But like, comment, subscribe, follow, hop in the chat if you're there. Let us know what comics you're into. Also, vote for the best comics of 2025. We're doing a little thing there. But regardless, let me introduce the guests. We got Drew Maxey, aka Drew Deficit. Drew, welcome back.
I'm here.
I'm a Drew.
I almost, while I was saying that, I felt a little bubble. I almost burped really loudly. I don't know if you saw me, like, when you were doing the intro, I was just chugging water because I haven't drunk enough water today, so I'm actually really thirsty.
Well, look, you stay hydrated, Who am I to say don't drink your water?
Mm-hmm.
I got like a sparkling one here too, so I'm just
Bro, I got two right here.
Oh man, you got the pour. Is that you got the is that the cranberry lime?
It's the cranberry lime. The man knows his soda water.
I'm a seltzer guy. Are you on the East Coast?
I am on the East Coast, yeah.
Dude, when a few years back, I'm totally derailing this, by the way, to talk about seltzer. Maybe like 10 years ago, I traveled to Boston, and I was like just kind of like starting to drink sparkling water. So I drank so much Polar because it was only kind of available in that region. And then now it's here. So it's just like between that and bubbly, I'm just like, I'll buy them by the case, man.
Nice. Same.
I can't do
I started
sparkling water at all. I'm just saying. I'm not in.
I think I don't want to speak for you, Drew, but me, like, I'm a juice guy, and I realize juice, I just can't keep drinking just juice and not drinking enough water. So this was like to force myself to drink something that is not juice, but is not comparable, but like, has a little flavor to it.
Legitimately, I started drinking sparkling water because I gave up drinking soda, and I drank so much soda that it was like unhealthy and like really bad for me. So sparkling water, like, it sounds so silly, but like it puts like the same feeling of soda in my mouth without like all the sugar and calories. So I'm just, again, down.
Dude, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
That's why you got the Spindrift, though. It's got the juice in it.
Jecky, still there?
Okay. Yeah, I'm here.
I find it funny how much product placement we do on this show. Yeah, we don't get a damn dime. We don't get a damn dime. We don't get any sponsors. Hopefully 2026 we get some sponsors. We've talked about Dr. Pepper Zero on the show ad nauseum. I'll bring up Celsius if Celsius wants to sponsor us. I'll tell you what, I don't drink sparkling water, but if they were to sponsor the show, I would drink sparkling water. That's the extent of me selling out. Like, it doesn't really affect my life, but I will drink a brand if a brand, sponsors the show.
We can start running ads, Polar, the official sparkling water of Comic Talk.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Let's get back to Comic Talk.
That sounds great.
I'll say that. Jecky, you also might be slightly delayed on us. So for anyone listening to the podcast,
am I?
Maybe a little bit. Let's go over our picks of the week, or not picks of the week, our reading lists for this week. There was a lot of comics that came out this week, but it was more DC than Marvel. And something I just noticed as I was looking ahead for next week, there's no DC comics out next week.
That happens sometimes when like the last week of the year.
December 31st. Yeah. There's none.
Yeah. I think the same thing happened last year, is that there were just no DC books.
That's so weird. I mean, maybe we took the week off of Comic Talk and I didn't notice it last year, but
if you look at what came out this week, Absolute Superman, Absolute Martian Manhunter, and Absolute Wonder Woman never come out on the same week.
Yeah, no,
so
I know that.
It's like they pushed everything, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Marvel comes out December 31st. They're dropping.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel's dropping. Indies are dropping. So, interesting. It's going to be a primarily Marvel Comic Talk, I guess, next week. But, let's get through, what are you guys' reading lists this week? What'd you guys read?
Right. Is there still delay for me?
Who knows? We'll see.
Okay.
You only notice on the like question and answer or the interjection. That's when you like really notice the delay. So
yeah.
We'll see.
All right, I'll start.
Yeah.
You guys tell me if there's a delay.
Okay.
Absolute Wonder Woman number 15. I did not get to Justice League Unlimited. I really wanted to. I didn't get to that one. The Will of Doom number 1. Absolute Martian Manhunter number 7. Absolute Superman number 14. Batman Static Beyond number 2. DCKO Red Hood versus the Joker. And that's actually, I did not get the Green Arrow either. I really wanted to, though.
Okay. All right. Pretty good list. Drew, what do you got? Or you want me to go?
I have. I was trying to put them in alphabetical order here because that's just the way that I like to do things. But
really, alphabetical? I feel like alphabetical is the least like personal of ordering. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I do it. I don't have to think too hard about it.
Oh.
You want me to do autobiographical? Have you ever seen High Fidelity?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Movie?
Yeah.
Great scene in that where he decides to occupy his time by organizing his record collection autobiographically. So he puts them in the order of when he discovered that record in his life. And everybody just like thinks like legitimately everyone thinks he's the coolest guy for doing that. Like
that's John Cusack, right?
Because they're just huge nerds. Yeah. I got Absolute Martian Manhunter number 7, Absolute Superman 14, Absolute Wonder Woman 15. I got the DCKO Red Hood versus the Joker. I got Harley and Ivy Life and Crimes number 2, Green Arrow number 31, Green Lantern number 30, Detective Comics 1104, Justice League Unlimited 14, and from IDW Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone number 5.
Very nice. All right. I did Green Arrow 31, Absolute Wonder Woman 15, Absolute Superman 14, Absolute Martian Manhunter 7, DCKO Red Hood versus Joker, Justice League Unlimited issue 14, The Will of Doom, Justice League Red issue number 5, Batman Static Beyond 2, Sisterhood, a Hyde Street story number 5, which finishes off that miniseries. Superman number 33, which was the Lex Luthor versus the Demon issue of DCKO All Fight Month. The Flash number 28, which was the Flash versus Green Lantern issue of DCKO All Fight Month. Marvel Winter Break Special, Amazing Spider-Man 18. I just flipped through 1776 number 2, and that was it. So, okay.
A good list, a very good list. Both
yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like when I went through, like DC had such a stacked list this week. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, there was a lot I could not skip, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make an effort to like read everything that I need to read from DC. You know?
Yeah. I was playing catch up on other series, and I was kind of like, oh man, I get to it. Like I was a little behind on DCKO. I was a little behind on Justice League Unlimited. So I was like, all right, I need to power to this, but yeah.
What was, and it doesn't have to be your like pick of the week, but like, was there one book that you wanted to read first and foremost? Like, you gotta get to it.
I think I did have one of those, which was Green Arrow.
You read that one first?
Really?
Yeah, that was the first thing I was looking, because it was the last issue of the run.
Yeah.
I've really been enjoying it, but I also I really like when series get the chance to end. And or like when there's when there is an ending either to like a creative team's run or to a series run in general. I always really like that. Because I like to see them like nail the landing, you know?
Yeah. Well, because I had talked about this last month, is that like the Green Arrow, that like issue before this one kind of like wrap things up real quick. And I was like, oh, it must be because they have like they want to have one final issue outside of that Crimson Archer stuff to like wrap things up. You felt like they pulled it off?
I really liked this ending.
What is your pick of the week?
Green Arrow.
I mean, might as well just talk about it while we're going to talk about it, you know?
Yeah, I mean that was definitely my pick. And you know what? This was a strong week for DC, not just like in the number of what they put out, but a lot of it was really good. But now for me, this Green Arrow issue, Green Arrow 31, I think that it really stuck the landing. It was a nice button on the end of just kind of like everything that uh, Chris Condon had been writing in his in this run. Um, the It's really just comes it does something that I really like that superhero stories do. It just puts two people in a room talking to each other, and one of them happens to be this like larger than life character, you know? You know, he doesn't have any superpowers. Ollie doesn't have any superpowers. He is just kind of a guy, but even that's not an entirely truthful description. But yeah, and he's just talking to um this detective who's been working with him
Since
solving
the
these murders.
beginning of this like Condon run, right?
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, very human conversation. She reveals that she's actually known him for a very long time, and he helped her out when she was really young. And it just kind of, you know, it works as a full circle moment for her. Um, and I mean, again, it's just two people talking with some flashbacks, which isn't the most interesting visually unless you have an artist who can do really good work with that. And so like Montos really establishes the atmosphere, the tone of this kind of like they've had almost an antagonistic relationship for the majority of this run, but there's reason for that, and you find out why in this issue, and it's just, you know, I really liked it. I thought that it did everything that a final issue of a series tries to do, which puts what they've been doing to bed, but lets the story continue because it's a superhero story and it has to be open-ended.
Right. I think that it's very rare for like a series to like end. Like, what is the finality of a superhero series? There really isn't really one, right? Like, a writer can end their story the way they want to, which I thought Condon did a good job on his terms, right? Like,
Yeah.
even if the series was canceled, wrap up the Crimson Archer arc, and then have one issue where, in a way, it's almost in a meta way, like, in the context of the story, how do the superheroes affect the civilians? And they talk about this, like, she doesn't have, like, the detective doesn't have any powers. There's nothing there, right? She's not a superhero. She's a detective.
Mhm.
She's a regular civilian. What do the effects that these superheroes have on the civilians in the context of their world? Very similar to the way that, like, these stories are presented to us. How do they affect the reader in our world, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It felt it. Yeah. I mean, it is a very intimate story, but it also has, because the flashback sequences take place when she's a little girl,
Yeah.
and he was already an adult at that point. Um, it it does kind of serve as a story for like to the audience as well, because it's like this character is going to be around forever.
Right.
Even if this is even if this issue is the last solo issue of Green Arrow, which it won't be, but
Right.
yeah, I mean he's been there for since the 40s. He's going to continue being there, even if he's in just a supporting role in somebody else's book,
Yeah. Jakey, did you read this one or not?
No, I didn't. I'm a little behind on this series, but I loved was it Silent Water Killings
Freshwater.
arc?
Freshwater, yeah.
Freshwater. That was great. I loved it. Um I was a little late to that, so I had to play catch up and go digging for them, and they were a little hard to find. But I finally got all of them. I read through it. That was really good.
Yeah. In fact, Freshwater Kills, I think, is nominated on our Best Comics of 2025 for
Mm,
Best Collected Edition. It's
mm.
one of our choices. So, you know, people out there who want to the problem with the Google forms is that they're never succinct, so it's hard to like can't just say the URL. But if you go to beacons.ai/the Keeg Show, it's our like top link there that'll take you to the voting page. We only have like a day left of voting, but a good amount of people
Flash a QR
have.
code on the screen.
If you're on YouTube, I mean, the link is there in our chat, so I did post that there. Yeah, but can't really.
I think I don't know if it's just one person has to nominate it for it to be up for it, but I was the person if it was.
There was multiple people.
Because I know that I wrote that one in specifically for collected edition, even though I got it in singles. I just thought it was such a good story that.
Yeah. No, there was enough of people who did the submissions for like nominations that there were like doubling up on a lot of the votes, So then that's why we did 2 phases. So then now that it's the voting phase. And then, on the actual episode on Sunday, December 28th, we'll be able to go over our like quote unquote professional opinion, semi-pro opinion with our critiques, and then also the audience vote. So the audience vote, if they all vote for the Minecraft comic, then fair. That's the audience vote. It may not be our vote, but it's the audience vote. Anyway, okay, Green Arrow number 31. That is a good pick of the week. I'm just happy it got wrapped up, and then also Ollie is going over to Detective Comics. I forget who's writing it though. You guys know?
I can't remember either.
Okay, so
I'm
Green
not
Arrow's
sure.
going to Detective Comics. That's his next stop. To Gotham specifically.
Meaning like it's gonna be a crossover, or what do you mean?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be like a recurring. It's gonna be like a recurring
like
team
guest.
Up. Yeah.
Okay. I picked up was it last week, Green Arrow question Batman, or I might have said it in the wrong order.
Yeah.
But I really like that. I really
did too.
like that team up. So yeah.
Yeah. That one was good, but
so I'm excited about that. I'm really excited with that. See where that goes.
Yeah. I think Batman and Green Arrow teaming up is always kind of cool because they're very similar but very different, you know. But Jakey, what was your pick of the week?
100%. Absolute Wonder Woman. Absolute Wonder Woman. Sorry. Number 15. You guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
You are delayed.
I've loved
That was actually
everything
really
Kelly
funny.
Thompson has done with it.
Sorry, I don't want you to interject. You are like 5 seconds delayed at least after us, just so you know.
God damn.
We'll do the best we can. We do the best we can. That's
All
fine.
right, my bad.
That's all right.
I'm sorry, guys. My Wi-Fi is on the other side of a 2-bedroom apartment from where I sit, so I need to invest into a better system, clearly. New Year's resolution. Am I good now? All right, good. Absolute Wonder Woman number 15 is one of my favorite books of the year. And it's right, I think it's right up there, like top 2, top 3 for me. I love everything Kelly Thompson. And nice crossover, and I love that they went the first right. They didn't do World's Finest that through Wonder Woman. You guys hear me?
It's cutting in and out. Even now.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, or is it good now?
I don't know. I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna log off. Go restart the Wi-Fi completely. I'll be back.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
No worries. I get the same thing sometimes.
All right.
No worries.
All right.
All right. So what we will do, I'll go over my pick of the week, and then we'll see how it goes. Drew, how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm good.
All right. So I guess so. Jakey's pick of the week is Absolute Wonder Woman 15, so I'm not going to pick that. I think it's tough because I want to pick one of two things, but I think I'm going to pick the one that after I read, I messaged you guys and I said, I'm crying. And I feel like any piece of fiction that can make you feel real emotions, because that's the thing, people will always say like, why are you feeling these things for these fictional characters, these fictional stories? But like, to transcend a piece of paper, like for emotions to like make you feel emotional in the real world, that's pretty powerful stuff, I think. Yeah. Like, however you want to spin it is like, if I'm reading a comic and it makes me cry, like it's doing something right, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So Absolute Superman number 14 made me bawl at the end of it. And I think what's been happening with a lot of these Absolute titles is that even though they're having like story arcs, I feel like the big main, how do I put it? The big main character arc for all of these different Absolute books have been taking a range of arcs to complete. I don't know how to put it, but basically, even though Absolute Superman 14, it's like 3 arcs in,
mm-hmm.
I feel like this is a 14-issue character arc.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the first act.
Yeah. Not all the Absolute books are dealing with things in that like breadth. Like, did you feel like Absolute Batman has finished his story arc? Probably, right? At the end of Bane, maybe? Like his character arc? Or did his character arc happen first? Like in the first 6 issue?
I feel like it's a good question, and I could see it both ways. So I just think that means that Batman has had like more like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the split between arcs has been more
defined.
Yeah.
deliberate. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's definitely like, you know, the Zoo arc is one arc, and then the Bane arc, the Abomination arc is
Yeah.
its own arc. And even though it is continuing the story of Absolute Batman, it's not quite as overarching as what they've been doing in Superman.
Yeah. So maybe if I can rephrase it, is even though there's multiple story arcs, I feel like Absolute Superman's like origin story has taken 14 issues. Like
Yeah, yeah,
now from this point on he can go on to be, it's like that development has happened,
yeah,
you know? Um which I thought was like, I mean, it's a slow burn in that respect, but like I I still stick to this. Like Absolute Superman is super underrated. Um, they finally finished the Ra's al Ghul storyline, which, like, there's a lot to it, but the end where he goes back to Martha, or at least where he hopes Martha will be, and she has passed the day before.
yeah,
And as I'm reading it, I get to this, like, before I like outright cry, I start like breathing shallow breaths, right? So I'm reading this final page and I'm breathing like shallow breaths because this pacing of this, like, she passed, she said these things, like, it's so sad. And when it gets to that final page of him holding, and it's not even a costume that he would wear technically. Like in the
yeah,
Prime Earth Superman, Martha Kent makes him his costume, he wears it, that's him being Superman. In this, like, she does the best she can. She has dementia in her final, like, however years, days, whatever, and but they mention she has lucidity at certain points, and like she stitches together a Superman outfit, and
yeah.
that's what she leaves him, and it's so damn sad.
And it's like it's unfinished.
Yeah,
So like I don't know. The English teacher in me is like, oh, it's his story. His origin is unfinished. You know, his journey to being Superman is unfinished and perhaps never will be finished, you know?
mm. I mean, do you take it as that? I take it as like no matter what, no matter universe, no matter what universe he is in, this is his story, his destiny. Because earlier in this issue, he rips off the House of
Yeah,
L
yeah.
shield, and in the end, he's essentially given it back by Martha. You know,
Yeah.
the House of L symbol comes from Krypton. He rips that off and will put it back on by a symbol that comes from Earth, essentially,
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
Martha, you know? So like, there's so much to this one. And then Soul dies, essentially, like the computer,
Yeah.
and calls him brother, and it's his last link to Krypton. There's a lot going on in this one issue.
Yeah,
And
I thought that it was a really good issue. I thought it was really strong. I'm with you on that. I know that Absolute Superman is it's not nobody's trashing it. Like
no,
it's definitely not being like overly criticized,
yeah,
but you know, of the original three, Batman and Wonder Woman seem to be getting the most press
yeah,
and just like the most talk online. And I think that Superman, it has just been so incredibly solid the entire time.
yeah,
I don't think I don't really think there's been a weak issue of any of the Absolute series at all. They're just firing on all cylinders.
yeah,
But Superman, I just has maintained the same consistency throughout. It is the same story. It it is building that world in just in such a way that is like all the characters are different, but there is that familiarity. But it also like I think that Absolute Superman is kind of, in some ways, doing the most to actually build the Absolute Universe, like this version of America,
yeah,
right? Because it's including the Peacemakers. We have Ra's al Ghul. We have like we're seeing other countries, which
yeah,
we're not really seeing in the other in the other books.
Right.
Um, and it's like Batman is giving us the villains, the spin on the villains, and uh, Wonder Woman is showing us the magical side of everything.
Yeah.
Green Lantern, to a degree, is showing the space side, and Flash is showing us the science fiction side. But this Superman is kind of like, it is really the cornerstone of everything. And it's so good. You have like their version of the Omega Men in it, and like
Yeah.
it's great.
I think that everybody wants something different from the absolute DC universe, and I think that whatever somebody wants from the absolute DC universe, then they kind of gravitate towards a specific title. Me personally, I'm a fan of like, don't give people what they want, give them what they didn't know they wanted.
Yeah.
And so like there are certain things that'll surprise you and win you over. But I think that like definitely Absolute Batman is the most extreme. So if you're just like, I want what I want from the Absolute DC universe is like extreme, and it's like, okay, sure, it's gonna give you that. Wonder Woman is the most beautiful. Like Absolute Martian Manhunter is the most artistic. Like it's trippy, and it's like that's what it's giving you, Absolute Superman is the most political.
Yeah, I agree. It is, and that plays into like the world building or the universe building of it all, because it is very much like, it is showing us the ramifications of the creation of this world, of this universe, which, like it's from Darkseid, so it's cruel and it's angry and it's kind of very hopeless. And Superman is a reflection of that, and the world that he's in is a reflection of that. We have, yeah, the politics of it, the politics that are being presented in it are very much what happens if Darkseid creates the universe.
Yeah. What I like about this also is that Gotham City in Absolute Batman just makes you lose all hope in this whole universe. But I feel like Absolute Superman shows that like people are still people trying to get by.
Yeah.
Even in this universe that's woven from the dark soul of Darkseid, like people are still people trying to survive, and there is still hope. Or
And
at least you can, pull that hope from people, right?
I think, yeah, I agree. And I think that I don't think that the absolute universe is lasting forever. I think that it is going to at some point have an ending.
Yeah.
And
sure.
I think that I think Absolute Superman is laying the groundwork of all the 6 books that are out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it is the one that is laying the groundwork, showing us that this universe ends when everything like becomes what it was supposed to be. And I think that for some people that might not be a satisfying ending, but I think that it is. And yeah, I think Superman is laying those seeds, they're planting it to show that eventually, Jimmy Olsen's gonna be a photojournalist, and
Okay.
Lois and Clark are going to be together. And well, I guess he's not Clark in this. I mean, but eventually he will be, right? He'll have to be.
He was gifted Clark as a name
Yeah, okay.
by Martha in this. And so, we'll see. I don't think that this universe is going to become the same kind of universe as Prime Earth DC. But I do think that they will, once they give the universe hope and prove the thesis of the Absolute DC experiment, which is even in a dark universe, hope will survive. I think once they prove that no matter what, Darkseid is dark. Everybody says Darkseid is a loser. You know what I mean? Like they like the DC like meta contextual stuff is like Darkseid is infinite. Darkseid is inevitable. But it's like, no, Darkseid is a loser if you have hope, if you have dreams, if you continue being good the way Superman is. And so I think that is, once that lesson is proved in the absolute DC universe, maybe then I don't think it'll die or be destroyed. I think it'll continue on whatever route they're going to go on, and you have hope for their future.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I switched laptops. Let's see what this does. I grabbed my girl's laptop because she does Zoom meetings for work all the time and never has issues. So I'm like, is it my laptop? But anyways, I was gonna actually ask you a question about that. Do you guys think, obviously at the end of DC KO, Darkseid will lose, right? What do you think that does for the Absolute Universe?
I don't know. I think the absolute DC universe is continuing as like stories. Drew said not forever, and it's like, yeah, sure, not forever, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But what if they did something that when he's defeated, it also changes the landscape in the Absolute Universe? Because the Absolute Universe was built around him, right? And in that sense, that's the same him that will eventually be defeated, we're assuming, in DCKO. What does that mean for him as far as the connection to the Absolute Universe? They've already hinted that some of the characters from the Absolute Universe are going to be facing their main DC counterparts. You know what I mean? Or a version of them. You know, so I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with that.
Yeah.
I think that like those three being part of the DCKO tournament, that story, I don't know if this has been answered anywhere, but I don't know that. Okay, so like Darkseid died, and now he's kind of like inhabiting the body of Booster Gold, right?
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Well, he's like part of the fabric of the universe now,
Yeah.
and somehow part of him also possessed Booster Gold.
Yeah.
He's kind of multiple things. He's possessed Booster Gold. He is the fabric of the absolute DC universe, but he's also invading the DC Prime Earth universe,
right,
on all multiple timelines at once through like something.
This is kind of my question, because I don't know if this has ever been answered, but like the Darkseid that is like a sentient being, does he even know that the absolute universe exists?
Well, I think so, because he created it, right? Like, yeah,
But I don't
he
think that
died.
I don't think it's been established that he himself created it. I think that it just was created
by his death.
Yeah, like when he died, this energy went out into the multiverse, and it just created this like it was the catalyst that created their version of the Big Bang. And so,
well, if you remember in the DC All In, it was worded as if it was him saying like a new universe where they will not have some of their allies, a new universe that wasn't that the way I read it. It was him narrating, right? In that very first All In series where they introduced the Absolute Universe.
yeah,
It was
that's
like
possible,
one side
right?
was Justice League Unlimited, and then the other side was kind of like Darkseid's like sacrifice, we're gonna call it, to like create to become this god after taking the Spectre.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Darkseid gets really weird. Darkseid stuff does get really weird.
But all
see.
of that is to say, I think that
Yeah, we'll see.
I think that eventually Darkseid does have to learn about this universe. Maybe they're using KO to do that, and then that his understanding of that universe, like his knowledge of it, is going to alter it. And so that might be like where they're going. That might be the first like absolute, for lack of a better term, because they've already used the term Justice League for the villains.
Right.
But like the first absolute Justice League team up might be going after this, like Darkseid acknowledging it, you know?
I hope that Darkseid does finally get defeated at the end of DCKO. I don't want to see Darkseid for the next 10 years. like I'm cool without Darkseid.
Yeah.
I would love to see
Yeah.
stories about the Fourth
My
World and like New Genesis and Apocalypse and all that stuff. I would love to see stories about that without Darkseid, you know. Great. But I don't need Darkseid anymore. I just don't need it, you know?
I talked to him. He said that he doesn't need you either.
what I think is gonna happen. What I think is gonna happen, this is my theory that I just put together like just now.
Yeah.
Is that d- the Trinity of the absolute universe would take part in defeating him. And so the universe will stay, but he will no longer be in charge of that universe in a way. So I think the Trinity goes back to that universe to turn things around, understanding that this universe was built around evil, and they'll be like, okay, this universe wasn't meant to be this way, if that makes sense, and maybe they're gonna try to change it. That's kind of my theory that I literally just put together now. We'll see.
I feel like because we don't know for sure that the Absolute Trinity is gonna be in DCKO. Like they hinted, but I think they're just cameoing. Because I think I read something that they're not specifically going to do that. And also, like, we only got 2 more months of DCKO. Like,
Yeah.
that's just 2 issues. And I don't think they're gonna do that. But I would find it funny is if Darkseid gets essentially locked out of the Absolute DC universe. Like he just can't access it and lets them, it
That would be
allows them
cool,
to
actually.
like continue on their own with, with that sort of thing. I don't know. Now that you're back, Jakey, give us your quick review of Absolute Wonder Woman 15, and then we'll hit the other things, because there's another book. I was talking about Absolute Superman 14 being my pick of the week, but I just as easily could have picked another book, just because I thought it was cool. But it made me cry, right? Like the Absolute Superman 14 made me cry, so that was my pick of the week. But you tell me about
Okay.
Absolute Wonder Woman 15.
Um, I just love seeing the two of them cross over. I love the approach of her going to Gotham, and like, I think the banter was really nice. It's just the back and forth was just really, really well written. I love how Kelly Thompson's Wonder Woman navigates that world. She is, I think, a little different than Diana. She seems a little bit less abrasive almost compared to how I see traditional Diana. Um, and like Batman trying to understand magic. I just love the banter between the two and the back and forth. I think it was just very well done. um and kind of like this mystery of we've seen some of it in Absolute Evil, but this mystery of who are these people that are kind of running this world, and they kind of already have their own version of like a cabal, that's already controlling the world from behind the shadows. And these heroes are under a radar, and I love that they've taken their time to really flesh out this absolute universe. It took them a year plus to have these characters cross over. That's really dedicating yourself to like fleshing out that universe. And I loved it. This felt like a nice coming together without being forced. So I loved it.
Yeah. I also just like the fact that they automatically got along from the beginning, and the only time they fight
Mm-hmm.
is when she gets like taken over. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but also the idea that like they solve that pretty quickly, which is
Yeah.
him touching the it's called the Hikatia, I think it was called, but
Mm-hmm.
because the only reason I remember that word is because there used to be another Wonder Woman story called Wonder Woman the Hikatia. Hikatia. I don't know. I don't know Greek, but the point being is that like there was a classic Wonder Woman story back in the 90s, I believe, called
Yeah.
One, and then they brought it back here and uses it, kind of like a talisman or whatever,
Yeah.
and it snaps her out of it. I like that.
Yeah.
Um,
And also, it would have been so cliche if they had started with Batman and Superman, the world's finest, right?
yeah,
It would have been so cliche if they had gone, that would have been the first crossover. I think having these two that are very different, right? Like polar opposites just crossing over like this, I really enjoyed it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited about the next issue on Absolute Batman where she comes over. I'm really excited. So
yeah, yeah. Drew, did you read this one?
I did. Yeah, I really liked this a lot. Hayden Sherman drawing I mean Hayden Sherman drew Batman in Dark Patterns, but like this is a totally different Batman,
Yeah.
and he approaches it differently. Which
100%.
yeah, it's really cool. I really enjoy the like dark magic aspect of this Wonder Woman book quite a bit. It yeah, it really excites me. I really like it a lot. Um
It gave
and
me
yeah,
everything I needed. Is really what it
yeah,
is.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's cool to have, like you said, it would be cliche to have Superman and Batman be the first team up, but this one also makes a lot of sense because he's a detective, and detective stories often center around like magic and stuff like that. So, bringing those two parts of it together, yeah, it's
It's kind of like almost like Lovecraftian noir in a way.
Mhm. Yeah.
Very pulpy, like yeah,
100%.
there's a mystery, occult sort of
Yeah.
mystery afoot.
Yeah.
You know?
And like they also are doing a really good job of like explaining the magic of that world.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like it's very like they're really fleshing it out. Like it's
Yeah.
the the blood magic, it's consistent with what we've seen before in this series, which people don't always do. It's consistent. They're really establishing kind of like the rules of this world, and she's navigating and using powers within the established confines of those rules that they've established. I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, as we move on, we got to hit some other ones. Let's move over to Marvel just for a little bit. Again, the amount of DC comics out this week was a lot. The Marvel comics out this week were very little. I think there was only 10 Marvel comics out versus 17 DC comics,
Mm.
from what I'm remembering. The Will of Doom was one of them. There's a one shot that came out. I know I read it and Jecky read it. Drew, did you read this one?
No.
This one takes place after the One World Under Doom storyline. Jeky, did you like this one? How did you feel about it?
Um, it was okay.
Yeah,
Um, I I was expecting it to. I felt One World Under Doom, and the ending was a little abrupt for me.
yeah.
And so I was hoping this was gonna flesh it out a little bit more. The whole thing with his will and everyone fighting for his possession, I think it hinted towards a conflict, what he's left behind, and I thought this one was gonna flesh it out more. It didn't do that for me.
Mm.
And so it was okay. Plus, I haven't been keeping up with the Red Hulk series, so this felt more like a conclusion to the Red Hulk series than to One World Under Doom, almost.
Yeah, I only read the first like two issues of the Red Hulk series, and
Hmm.
then when I picked this up, it was like it talked about like, oh, he planted his flag on Mount
Yeah,
Doom or whatever they called
yeah,
it, the mountain, and I was like, oh, I don't know anything that's going on here, but
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
fine. Um, that being said, I think it's a J. Scott Campbell double spread cover, whatever it's called. He did a variant for Will of Doom that looked kind of cool. Um, you know.
Hmm.
Anyway, for people who like
And this is
variants.
Chip Zdarsky. Was Chip Zdarsky on the Red Hulk series before?
I don't know, because he didn't do the what's it call it? He didn't do the One World Under Doom stuff, right? Or did he?
Yeah, he didn't
No,
do.
who
Yeah, I
was
was
it?
surprised that this land. It was. Forget.
I'll have to look it up. But I don't
I don't have it
know
here.
what Chip Zdarsky did last.
As far as I knew, he was only in the Captain America. I was surprised he
Okay,
landed
yeah.
on this. Yeah.
Well, there is like a couple things that come out of the Will of Doom is Dungeons of Doom, which I don't know if it's a one shot or a miniseries or whatever. Fantastic Four, obviously, and then the new
Mm-hmm.
Captain America arc that's coming across is now in the present because the
In the
first Captain
present,
America
yeah.
arc was in the past. It's in the
Yeah.
present, and I think the United Nations or whatever other countries are trying to create their own super soldiers. So we're getting kind of almost a what we got in the first Ultimate Marvel universe, where the European Union created their own Captain, like Captain Spain, Captain Italy, all that stuff. We're getting it in 616
Mm-hmm.
Marvel, which is all these countries are creating their own captains.
Yeah.
After the events of One World Under Doom. So maybe that's where Chip Zdarsky is tying things in because of that.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a very stellar week for DC, and for Marvel, you know, it was tough.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry, you know. But okay. One World
they'll do
Under Doom was
better next
Ryan
week.
North. That's right, because Ryan North is writing Fantastic Four. That's what. Okay. Did you guys read Absolute Martian Manhunter?
Yep,
I
I
did.
sure did.
I did not, because it's too, like, I will read it, but I think I gotta read it all at once. It's way too trippy for me. So
that's what I like about it.
yeah, I mean that's, again, I'm not yucking anyone's yum. I think it's just not me right now.
Yeah.
You know, it takes me like sitting down to read it.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, if with the first arc was so new and so different. I wonder if long term this is something that's sustainable to have such a trippy series. Like I was wondering if like eventually the novelty of it being so trippy will wear off. I'm still enjoying it, but I don't know how the general public is gonna feel. What you think, Drew?
I've thought about exactly what you're saying. I think that first of all, I thought this issue was really good. It felt like
Same.
I don't know if it's technically the beginning of the second arc, but it kind of felt like that. Sometimes they'll do those in-betweeny issues, um, where it just kind of like lets you live in a day with, to kind of flesh things out a little bit.
Yeah.
And so like the powers, the kind of like the trippiness of it was a part of it, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't quite as like integral to the plot as it has been.
Yeah.
And I think that that's good. I think that, letting it just become a normal part of the book is
Yeah.
an important thing, especially if, as the story goes on, you want to have that foundation to allow more weird to come in. I've always said, since issue one of this, I've said that it gives me the same feeling as I did when I first read the Alan Moore Swamp Thing, in that like
Mm.
it is so high concept while also being like rooted in a superhero story. Um, just it lets it the story is allowed to be weird and everything's
Mm-hmm.
allowed to be very strange.
Mm.
And it lets the audience experience that without like hand holding, and it feels like
Yeah.
it feels like it's not dumbed down at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I mean, with Swamp Thing, same thing could have happened where it started to get boring, and it never did.
Mm.
So I think if my assumption is correct, that that is an influence on this book, if they did it in the 80s, they can do it now and keep it
Yeah.
interesting and keep it relevant and keep it engaging.
I mean, think
Yeah.
about
There.
Sandman, right? Like these
Yeah.
kind of
Mm.
metaphysical books.
Mm.
It seems really heady and trippy and stuff, but like a good writer will change things up and like realize there's like a rhythm and a flow,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you guys happy about that? Here's a question, because I haven't been keeping up with this. Was this originally stated just to be 6 issues, and then they just were like, let's start back up, issue number 7, let's keep it going?
I don't know actually. I know there was a break, but I actually don't know if it was because it was supposed to be just a short miniseries
Mm.
or standalone, or if there was just a planned delay. I actually don't know.
Mm.
I've heard people say that it was only supposed to be a 6 issue mini. I have not corroborated that with any sort of reporting at all.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm bad about keeping up with the comic news. I just read them, And so like I have no idea if that was the plan, if they decided to extend it because sales were good. Um, that would be cool if that's what happened, but I don't know. It feels like it was always supposed to go on.
Okay. All right. Just wondering.
Yeah.
All right. Um, what else stood out this week?
Let's see. Um, what did we already talk about? We already talked about this stuff. Let's see. I mean Red Hood versus the Joker was a big one for a lot of people.
There were 3 DCKO matchups
Yeah.
this week. I mean, we might as well just talk about all
Yeah.
3 at once. One was the one shot DCKO Red Hood versus Joker. The other 2 take place in the actual like series.
Yeah.
Superman 33, Lex versus Etrigan the Demon, Flash 28, Flash versus Green Lantern. I mean, we could talk about DCKO Red Hood versus Joker first. You guys all read that one?
Yeah, I did.
Have you guys been reading the other 1v1 matchups?
I've only been reading them
Some.
if they're in a book that I'm already picking up.
They've been trying to
I
get around the idea that these heroes are fighting against each other. So like a lot of these heroes don't want to kill each other, and
Yeah.
so they're trying. Like it's hard, I get it, but like all the heroes are doing something that like I don't know. They're kind of like almost tricking their way out of the fight in a way. I don't know how you guys. In this one, it's an all out.
Yeah.
They're fighting to the death though.
Yeah. I read Lobo versus Wonder Woman, and then I read what was the other one? Captain Atom versus Superman.
Yeah.
This was pretty good. I think it wasn't surprising. There wasn't a shocking anything. The ending, actually, I want to ask you guys that the ending, I wasn't like, it looked like the Red Hood won, but the Joker's heart restarted. I wasn't quite sure the last page. I was like, wait, the thing went off and said round is over or whatever, right? KO, but I almost feel like the Joker came back. Maybe like something to do with Dark Side or with but what do you guys think?
Yeah, he has like a device on his heart that I'm assuming shocks it into keeping going. But it does say
KO, right?
Yeah, it says that he lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean something we pointed out previously is that like a lot of these 1v1 fights are being won by the heroes and they're just like moving. There's a lot of heroes in this final, like in the 16, right? So these 8 1v1 fights, a lot of the heroes are moving on. Jason in this issue moves on, but like I think Joker is tricking his way to get back into, because they're throwing a lot of twists, right? So I'm sure like Lex and Joker have fail safes where if they lost their fight, they would still go on or come back later. Kind of how Batman did it with the Mother Box.
Yeah.
And he went off into Night Fight. It's kind of like that, maybe. Maybe we're gonna see Joker Night Fight in a way. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was a little confused about that, but
yeah,
it kind of took away from Jason's win a little bit for me, right? It felt like they didn't want to commit to either character winning or losing.
I definitely get that. I definitely get that, but I also think that like this issue was kind of like letting people have their cake and eat it too, because people want to see, like, people who like Jason Todd really want to see Jason Todd go up against the Joker and fight him and kill him.
And well, I'm hoping he does that and essentially like gets therapy through it, right? Like, well, hopefully it's therapeutic and he can move forward as a character.
But also, that's also what they're trying to do, is make it so that the victory is not killing the Joker. The victory in this was him realizing that he was his own person. You know, he wasn't driven by his grief, but he also wasn't driven by being an extension of Batman. It was about him finding out who he was the whole time, which, I mean, is a big galactic, like cosmic event the place to do that for Jason? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Also, I feel like we've been down this road with Jason before.
Yeah.
Like
Jason is a
like,
character, you know,
through.
Jason is a character who has his fans and they're very rabid and they're very into him.
Hmm.
And so it's a lot of they kind of just play the hits, and that's it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you
And
mean. I know
I think that
exactly what
we
you
I
mean.
think that we were not going to get that. I think that we were actually going to get some interesting progression in the solo title that got canceled. It felt like that first issue was setting up for like, hey, we are going to tell a story and not just make him do the same things that he's always doing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we'll never know I mean, I'm sure someday down the line we'll get
Yeah.
details leaked out.
Yeah. Or we'll get another solo series that'll do what
Yeah.
it needs to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's funny that, like, yeah, in a cosmic story, one of the final 16 is Red Hood. In all the DC characters, like the one character out of the final 16 is Red Hood, is a weird, like, I guess, step up for Red Hood, being, like, representing on a cosmic scale 1/16th of
I
possibilities.
guess. I guess it. I guess it depends who you line up with, right?
But
Because yeah,
yeah,
like if it was Red Hood against Captain Adams, that would have been
yeah. I just
that
I
would have
just
been
think
a
Red
very
Hood as a
short battle.
character, like, it'd
Yeah.
be like, and I love Tim Drake, but like Tim Drake would not be one of the 16, even though I love him. He doesn't, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
Green Arrow
Yeah, well, we
also.
can assume he's out next round.
Yeah. Who knows even what next round is gonna be?
Yeah.
I have been liking DCKO because they've been throwing a lot of twists.
Right. Right. That's true.
Um, interesting question for you guys. You guys didn't
Yeah.
read the other two though.
The ones from this week?
Yeah.
No, I didn't get to them.
I did not read the Lex one. I didn't read the Lex one. No.
Did you read the Flash one?
No.
No. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll just tell you guys what happened there. It's really weird because Lex goes up against Etrigan the Demon, and like it's
Mhm.
actually kind of an interesting one because Etrigan is super strong, but like Lex is super smart and he is a villain, and they fight and they go through the whole throwing fists and everything. It keeps flashing back to, which is there's a storyline called Underworld Unleashed, right? That where they reference in DC Comics every so often, where there was a storyline where Neron, ruler of hell, gives the villains powers in exchange for their soul, and they reference it in Justice League Unlimited. They reference it in this. They've been referencing it a lot recently. Lex wonders, after all this time of being cloned and reborn and all that stuff, and Underworld Unleashed, whether he still has a soul. So there's that whole thing. In the end of this issue, he does something interesting, which is he takes the demon Etrigan for himself out of Jason Blood. Then he cuts Jason Blood's throat.
Shit.
And then he defeats the demon internally through his own will. And that's how
proving that he has a soul?
No. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think it's he doesn't have a soul, or I don't know. He has he says he has mystic runes written on him through his being in the underworld or something. I don't know. It was this whole thing. But the point being is he just willpowered his way after being possessed by Etrigan. That's how he defeated.
That's a lot of power-ups for Lex Luthor. To have Etrigan and embody him and to defeat him.
Yeah.
That's a new wheelhouse, but okay.
I mean, it looked cool. I'll say that.
Okay.
I don't know whether I buy it, but it looked cool.
I was gonna say like for I don't know if I'll read it and see, but I don't know if I buy it either right now.
Yeah.
But I'll see.
And then I mean, last but not least, for the Flash 28, it was Jay Garrick Flash versus Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, and in the end, Guy won. There's some cool character moments, but they fight almost too much to this extent. Like, I wouldn't believe that either of them are fighting to like kill the other person, but okay, fine, I guess. Was what it was.
Yeah, I need to pick those up.
Yeah. Drew, you read Godzilla.
Yes.
Right? Let's hit that one.
So, Escape the Dead Zone. There's 3 ongoing Godzilla titles right now. One is just called Godzilla. One is called Godzilla Starship, and this one is called Escape the Dead Zone. Concept of it is that some time ago there was this Godzilla attack at this place that completely annihilated it somewhere in the United States, and it's just been cut off from the rest of the country. No one is coming to help it. It's just a wasteland. It has a very Mad Max vibe to it. And it's also like, it's very goofy. Like very intentionally goofy in some ways. Like, for example, the main character is like a human monster hybrid, who's, he's human size, but he has like a tail and some reptilian features. He is traveling through the wasteland with uh, 2 kids who he's met, and they have also met a little girl who has a crush on Godzilla, who has made herself giant. And they're encountering things like Godzilla cults. In this issue, it centers around the characters getting stumbling upon this town that looks like normal in the middle of the wasteland. It looks like a regular suburban town, but they they have this like underground battle arena, like Thunderdome, in it, and
there
they
is
have
so much going on with this, but
yeah,
okay, continue.
they have to fight the monster Baragon in it. And it's, I mean, it is not, it's campy and it's goofy, and it is not like entirely serious at all. Which has been a lot of fun. Like, it's just a fun book.
You know what it made me think of? Your description made me think of Fallout a little bit. Like the Fallout series.
I can see that.
Just a little bit.
The only thing I know about Fallout is from the first couple episodes of the television show. I've never played any of the games.
Yeah, neither have I.
But like,
okay.
I definitely get what you mean by that. And yeah, the closest thing, I keep saying, it feels like Mad Max with kaiju in it. And like, Godzilla is not seen in it very often, but his presence is kind of always felt because he shaped the setting, which I've enjoyed that aspect of it, because it allows it to be a story about these characters. A lot of times the problem with, at least a problem for me, with giant monster stories is that it just becomes about 2, I don't even want to call them necessarily characters. They're plot devices. They're big giant monsters that can't talk, they can't emote, they just fight each other.
Yeah.
And if you're watching a movie, the special effects can make that really awesome. If you're reading it in a book, if you're reading it in a comic, like, you got to have some really cool art to make the still frame of that exciting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, this allows it to be like a different kind of Godzilla story. One that is essentially it's just about how does Godzilla shape the world? Like just his existence, how does it shape the world? Um, and I've really liked what they've done with it.
All right.
Nice.
What are the other? Are they all IDW?
Do you guys watch Monarch on?
Uh, whoa,
Well,
because
Drew first. Are these all IDW? And then we'll.
they are all IDW. IDW has the license for Godzilla in the United States outside of the like legendary Godzilla.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Jeky, you were gonna bring up Monarch? I was gonna bring up Monarch too.
Yeah, like I love that show. It's one of my favorite shows ever. Very good character driven. Like that. When you were saying how like Godzilla's presence is felt, even though he's
Mhm.
not in there a lot, it made me think of Monarch, which I
That's
love that show.
honestly,
I can't wait.
if you like take the vibe of Monarch and just make it like intentionally sillier,
Mm.
it's not too far from that.
Okay, cool. And you said you're on issue number 5?
This is issue number 5, yeah.
I wonder if it's too late to jump in, because actually that sounds like something I would like. No, I'll try.
Okay.
I mean, hey, I'm sure that you find the first 4 elsewhere, out in the world.
All right. Well, back to Marvel. I know that you guys didn't read much Marvel this week, but I had a couple. Amazing Spider-Man, number 18. I won't talk too much about it, but right now, the book is alternating. Every other story is one is Peter Parker in space, one is like Norman Osborn as Spider-Man on Earth, and like they're going back and forth. But there's somebody in this issue, Amazing Spider-Man 18, that is bringing together all the goblins. So there's someone hunting the goblins. So the Queen Goblin, the Goblin King, and then Norman Osborn. And so there's this whole thing. Also, like what's cool about this issue, and I've actually been liking Amazing Spider-Man. I had been. Norman Osborn has a sit down with J. Jonah Jameson talking about the effect of Peter Parker on both of their lives and how like he doesn't have like father figures, and are they his father figures in a weird way, because Norman Osborn's trying to be good, and J. Jonah Jameson is also trying to be better, right? And so like J. Jonah Jameson's not a villain per se, but like both of them have had problems in the past, and so this issue kind of goes a little bit over that. I don't know, it's interesting. I can't fault Joe Kelly for like taking big swings on some of these things. I'm like, all right, let's see something new. If we're complaining that like Spider-Man is always the same thing every single time, like you can't blame this series for like trying something new. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But you guys aren't reading this one, and that's okay.
I'm just a little bit behind.
I don't think that I have ever read. No, I take that back. I have read a few issues of Amazing Spider-Man when Dan Slott was writing it. But that is the only like regular Spider-Man stuff I've ever read.
That's fair. Can't blame you.
I'm on issue number 4. I'm just a little bit behind.
Okay. I mean, it's also a bi-weekly book, so it's every 2 weeks.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So I get it. It can be a lot. Justice League Unlimited 14. This one could have also been my pick of the week because I thought it was pretty badass. Like,
you know what? I fell off of this book for a little while, but I started like making sure that I was reading it with the KO stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's been really good. I've really liked what they're doing with it.
The Terrific 10 stuff is crazy.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't know. Jakey, are you reading this one?
I am. I'm one issue behind.
Oh, I can't.
I know, it's okay. No, it's okay. Yeah, you can spoil it.
Okay, because this book specifically, I realize that characters are going to die. And so when I read each issue, I think this might have been the first issue I read this week. Because I was like, I know by turning these pages, I'm going to witness a character death. There's like, they're whittling down one by one. And like, I don't know. It's been pretty crazy. Their journey through hell.
Yeah.
This is the first time DC hell has made it like, oh yeah, people get eviscerated. It like is gross and it is violent and like just kind of sad. I like it.
All the good stuff. Yeah.
Because like also these characters can die. They are expendable. This is the Expendables, right? Like,
yeah, they're very, very like you said, expendable. They're like copies, and they made sure to tell you that they were actually like copies taken out of time, but not like the actual person from an alternate universe.
yeah.
So they already established that. So you already like I was like, oh yeah, this is I think you called it too. It's like this squad is gonna be like a Suicide Squad.
Yeah. It's Suicide Squad through hell.
Mm-hmm.
Drew, how have you been feeling?
I've really enjoyed it. Just like I like seeing character is so important for me. Like in terms of, how they're presented on the page. You know what I'm saying? Like what do they do? How does it fit into, and like how the characters are presented, how do they act? Why is it important to the story? And I think that we've been getting a lot of really good character moments, especially with the different interactions. This issue in particular, with like the whole thing with Superman,
Yeah.
I really liked, and it was fun in a sort of I don't know, masochistic sort of way to see Superman be stripped of his hope.
Yeah. So the premise, at least, or like the plot device in this, Jecky, is that they get to the river Styx, which is where Charon is, the ferryman, right, from Greek mythology. And Mr. Terrific shows up with pieces of gold, and he's like, or like coins, and he's like, here's our payment to get across. And Charon's like, I don't care about that. It has to be payment specific to you. Like back in ancient Greece, the coins were currency back then. But it doesn't matter now. Like you have to pay something that means something to you. So a lot of the characters give gadgets or things as payment. But the people without that, they had to pay the price on a conceptual level. So Electric Blue Superman, what was it, Drew? He paid, like, he got his...
He gave up hope. His ability to feel hope.
And that was his payment.
Yeah. I also really liked the image of Mr. Terrific's like fair play tattoos just like coming off of him, because like they still spelled it out as they were dissipating into the air.
Yeah.
That was a really cool panel.
Because Mr. Terrific had to give up his equality, like his belief in equality. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Like the fairness and equality that is fair play. His credo, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had to give that
So
up.
if Superman gives up his hope, is he a different type of person now? Is he like angrier, or is he like harsher? Like how did that work
He
for
seemed
Superman?
depressed, is what he seemed.
Yeah, he's
He seemed
essentially
like
just as it's been shown now, it's just him being like, yeah, there's no reason to go on.
Darker.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah, he's not angrier. He's just sadder, right? Like he's just, what is the point of literally going through hell? Like you need hope, and that's the one thing. And everybody looks to Superman for it. And like everybody's dealing with the toll throughout this thing. There are lasting consequences in this story arc that is unlike a lot of other things. Because even though DCKO, when it ends, the characters in the tournament will be brought back to life, these characters are not getting brought back to life. These characters are dead. They are time remnants, and that is it. And even Mr. Terrific deals with the deaths. He like it shows him off in the corner, like like having to like deal with the loss of these time remnants, because even though he put together the team knowing that they're expendable, he doesn't want them to die. you know? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, and I mean,
Especially if it's in a traumatic way too.
yeah. One of the characters dies in this. So I'll tell you that. I won't tell you who.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Which I think that means that it's 3 so
Okay.
far.
I'll read it. Like probably
What,
read it tonight.
3
honestly.
deaths so far?
Yeah, because they said at the beginning of this issue that 2 of them have already died, right?
No, more than that. Power Girl and Guy Gardner died. Alan Scott died.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, they started as 10 and now there's only 7. And then at the end of this issue there's only 6.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So the only people who are well, no, I won't even say it for Jecky. Jecky will read it. There's one person who dies in this. I'll let you read it and figure it out.
Okay.
All right.
I really wouldn't mind, but okay.
Did you guys read Just League Red at all?
No, I didn't. I fell off of that book and I really wish that I had.
I did not get to it.
I fell off of it and then I caught back up again. It's kind of cool. I don't want to spoil anything, but like, yeah, it's kind of cool. Like, yeah, what exactly is going on? It finishes, I think, at the end of next issue. I think it's only 6 issues. And I don't know what they're trying to build up towards, because also the big question is, like, right now the DCKO event is going on. Like, what is the point of this series? You know? Like, what are they setting up for? Probably something for, like, next level. You know? So, I mean, also, this series takes place before DCKO. Because it has Cyborg.
And because it...
Like,
oh, I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask. I can't remember if they're running simultaneously or one before the other.
This has to be taking place before DCKO. Yeah. So, sure.
It feels like it's simultaneously though.
Yeah, but Cyborg is in the tournament, but he's also in Justice League Red.
Oh yeah, duh. We moved on to Red.
Yeah.
I was still thinking. My mind was still on
Unlimited.
Yes.
No, Unlimited is at the same time, but Justice League Red is
at the same time.
I just don't think that it's connected at all.
But they're building up something, because there's one more issue to wrap things up, and I think they're building towards whatever the next thing in DC is.
Yeah.
DC Next Level. So, all right, we'll try to wrap the rest of the books up real quick. This isn't worth talking about too much, but Marvel Winter Break special was just kind of a cute thing. It has a lot of pinup shots of, like, it's kind of funny, tongue-in-cheek. Why are they in bikinis but in the snow? It has to do with, like, global warming and Roxxon Corporation. It's kind of a funny, campy sort of thing. The art is amazing, and the pinups are good. They're great. So, you know, I wish they would do, like, big posters of them, because there's some really good covers of this and on the inside. So that's what the Marvel Winter Break special was. Blink and You'll Miss It. Number 4. I know that Drew read this one.
I was going to, but then my shop didn't get it.
Oh no. Okay. All right.
But that's been really cool. It's by the same team who did Dead Zone. So yeah.
Okay.
It's been a cool book.
Harley and Ivy number 2. Crimes and what's it called?
Life and Crimes.
Life and Crimes.
Yeah. It's a fun book. It is it's kind of like detailing how they became a couple. It's about them teaming up, and like they're talking about I don't know, it's just Harley is trying to get away from the Joker, and Ivy's like, yeah, I can help you do that, but like, you know, and yeah, it's kind of like getting to the point. It feels like it's them in the present talking about something that they did in the past that got them to eventually realize they had feelings for each other. It's cartoony. It's been a really fun book.
Okay.
I also the one thing that I have to talk about between this and a couple other books that I read this week. I don't know if you guys pay attention to letterers at all, but what's his name? Hassan Asmant.
I don't normally pay attention to letterers, but I know that it's an art that is underrated.
I'm gonna say his name wrong, so I'm gonna find it so they don't. Hassan Atzman El How.
Mm-hmm.
I have been seeing his name pop up in all kinds of books lately because he's just like he's so good at lettering. His style is just so interesting. There's a panel here which I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera here, but
Yeah.
it's this panel. Harley is sticking her head out the window, but Ivy's still inside. And so the lettering, like the speech bubble is inside the window. Like it's so good.
That is cool.
It's just little creative stuff like that. There's also a part later where they're in a fun house. And you can see like the speech bubbles are in the reflection. They just have nonsense in them. So like when Erica Henderson, who wrote and drew this, she anticipated what that was going to look like. So she actually drew it like into the art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just it's a really fun book. If you like Harley Quinn, if you like Poison Ivy, it's worth reading.
All right. Jakey, did you read this one or not?
No.
Okay. But you read Batman Static Beyond?
I did.
How are you liking it?
I might end up dropping this one. Yeah.
It's not your vibe?
Nah, there's just something about it I don't like. So the dynamic has kind of changed. This is a very young Terry McGinnis and a older Static. So Static it feels like Static is intentionally being a hard ass on Terry McGinnis, and kind of like, did you read the briefing? I sent you the briefing. Why didn't you read the briefing? And then it's a very weird dynamic. It feels like Static is almost bullying Terry McGinnis, and like Bruce Wayne is alive, and Bruce Wayne is kind of like, well, I'm just waiting for you to stand up for yourself. It's a very interesting dynamic, like and the story felt a little predictable. There's Static is spearheading a project for Earth to join the rest of the universe, so like other planets and other solar systems, and to do business and to interact with them. But to do that, they need to prove that they can do light space travel.
Yeah.
And so Static is in charge of that project. And Batman and him are kind of like security, and there's like a new meta human. I don't know, it felt very predictable to me. And which is sad because I was really excited about this originally. I just don't love the dynamic between the two and the rest of the team as well. There's like an older Superman there who's kind of in the background.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll give it one more chance for issue number 3, but I'm not sure this is for me.
I think you bring up a good point, which is, and something very specific to this context of this story, is that like Static, we love him because he's a kid, right? And so it's tough, like in real life when people get older, their personalities change. So when you're writing an older version of a character, sure, they're gonna be different. But like, what similarities does older Static share with younger Static that makes us fall in love with the older Static in the same way that we did the younger Static? Like, that's the big problem. It's like older Static just seems, you know, like, I don't know, like if you do a time travel thing where you meet yourself when you're older and it's like, why are you so grumpy, dude? Like if I met my younger
Right.
self, like my younger
Yeah.
self would be like, dude, just chill, man. And it's like, oh no, like you're an adult, you have adult things to worry about, right? So like older Static to me doesn't really
Yeah.
seem like Static. Like, what is the difference between an older Static and like Jefferson Pierce Black Lightning?
Yeah. No, yeah, he's but even Jefferson Pierce was the type to try to inspire young people and teach them.
Yeah.
This Static just kind of comes off like an asshole a little bit,
Yeah.
and for me that's a very different way of how I've seen Static over, because I fell in love with young cool Static. If he was a little bit more like Jefferson Pierce, I think I would appreciate it. He's kind of like picking at him for no reason almost, you know
Yeah.
and I don't know. I didn't love that dynamic, but and to be fair, I haven't read a lot of Batman Beyond comic book wise, so I don't know how his first years as a younger Batman were by the time he got involved with the Justice League. But I think I would assume he would be a decently confident Batman by that point.
Yeah.
You know, by the time he's involved with the future version of the Justice League, for him to kind of like almost get punked by Static constantly is a little weird.
Yeah.
But
I would say the Batman Beyond in this is more of the cartoon Batman Beyond. So it's less of the comic version. It doesn't seem like it's bogged down with too much continuity as far as like all these like the stuff that happened in the comics, because there's a lot of stuff that happened in the Batman Beyond comics that weren't in the show. But I think this is supposed to be an easy jumping on point for people who grew up with the Batman Beyond cartoon, that they could jump into this.
So Pennywise has everyone arguing, how does time travel and move?
What's
Something just started playing on my computer.
okay. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really happy with the Static representation in this, though I am interested in like the future of these milestone characters, what happens in the beyond future. But really it just makes me miss Static in the here and now. You know?
Yeah.
Like bring back Static.
It was nice to see Icon and Rocket. I don't like that Rocket is retired and she's like the mayor now.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah. It is what it is. I'll push through and I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Drew,
Okay.
you said you read Green Lantern?
I did, yeah.
All right. Quick thoughts about Green Lantern and then Detective Comics, and then I think that's it on our list.
Green Lantern was pretty okay. I have not been reading this book pretty much at all. But I figured, hey, this seems like an issue where we're in between arcs. So I figured I would read it. I like seeing Hal and Batman get put together because I know that they tend to not get along very well, and
Yeah.
I like that. And I thought it was good. It was fine. And Detective, I've been enjoying Tom Taylor's Detective run. Especially I like Mikhail Hanin's art a lot. I cannot remember what happened in the story.
Okay.
Yeah. I just know that I remember reading it and being like, oh, that was cool.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
it
I mean,
is part of a larger story arc. Fair.
He is good at Tom Taylor is good at he's good at character moments.
Mhm.
I think that his the stories are pretty straightforward.
Okay.
You read it to see how the characters interact and what they do.
Yeah. Which is
I
why
do-
I like him so much, because I like
do-
character interaction.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the same. That's what draws me to
Yeah.
his books. I do remember what happened in this issue now. I just had to flip through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Tom Taylor reposted one of our videos recently. I could be wrong. No, he commented on one of them.
Hey.
Yeah, well, I remember that. So shout
Yeah,
out
he
to Tom Taylor.
interacts on people's social media pretty frequently.
Yeah. Way to make me not
man.
feel special, but okay, thanks, Jecky.
No, no, no.
He's like, oh yeah, that girl down the street, like she has a lot of boyfriends. It's like, oh, well, I just said I just had a date with her. All right.
Look, man, Tom Taylor is he's one of the greats right now. It's really cool that he reposted your stuff and commented. That's really cool.
Jecky, was there anything else on your list you didn't get to talk about?
Let's see.
I think we hit everything.
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay.
Because I was behind. Like, next time I'll do a better job of like catching up on.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I did read Sisterhood: A Hyde Story, issue number 5, which finishes off this arc. I just like the Hyde Street series, and this is a spin-off of it. It was just a 5-issue miniseries. Should it have gone 5 issues? I don't know whether it needed 5 issues to tell the story, but like it ended in a very downer sort of way. It was like a ghost story, possession, murder with a sorority, and it was like cool, but also it just ends really downer. So it makes me seem like I just went through 5 issues with like, okay, it had like a Twilight Zone type ending, and like Hyde Street really is the modern day Twilight Zone in a way, more horror focused, Tales from the Crypt, so to speak. And so it's a really good anthology kind of book, but at the same time, yeah, kind of let down by the ending of this one. But was what it was. I stuck through it. Still a fan of Hyde Street, so. And then I did brush through 1776, issue number 2. Not a big fan of the context of like going back to the Revolutionary War. I don't personally care. J. Michael Straczynski is good, but at the same time, like they only send the white Avengers back in time, and I just think it's super funny. You know, they're like, yeah, but they do touch on it a little bit, and then they kind of like move past it, and it's like, okay, that's fine. It is what it is. But it's 1776. Like, not too many Avengers you can send back there. But anyway, that was it. That was, I think, the list of everything that we read this week. I want to thank both of you guys so much for coming on the show, taking time out of your Friday night to be here on Comic Talk. For anyone out there who is watching, you're watching us on youtube.com/The Keeg Show, or listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Audible, SoundCloud, whatever. Wherever you're at, like, comment, subscribe, follow, write a review. Let us know you're out there. We've got a lot of cool things coming up in 2026. But, you know, we're finishing off 2025 with the Best Comics of 2025 episode on Sunday, December 28th at noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube. So, you know, vote. Find the link at beacons.ai/The Keeg Show. You can vote for your Best Comics of 2025, watch our episode, listen to our episode, you know, so on and so forth. Drew, where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
You can find me at Drew X Deficit. It pretty much anywhere that there is social media to be had. What am I working on right now? Not a whole lot, just writing some stuff. If you're in Nashville, Tennessee, Birmingham, Alabama, or Wichita, Kansas, one of my bands will be in each of those cities in sometime coming up. So, you know, you can look out for that.
So get in line now.
Yep.
Dope.
And I got an idea that I want to try to do that I haven't talked about until right now. But I would like to try to organize a monthly online comic like book club where we all read something and then we talk about what it is. So that you might see me putting that together.
Okay. We'll chat after the show.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. All right, Drew X Deficit.
Nope.
You got it, but the X is silent, but it's not, but it is in the.
It's important, but you don't say it when you speak.
Okay. All right. Jecky, where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
I'm mostly on TikTok and Instagram, so I created a page to help newcomers navigate comic books. I got a few projects that I want to start. I think I'm gonna start talking a little bit more about comic book movies as well, for next year. And yeah, so I'm excited. Hopefully, people stay tuned. We'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Awesome. For anyone out there who wants to follow me personally, this is Dimitri on Instagram. Especially next year, the game show that I was on should air. Should air sometime. So early next year. So this is Dimitri on Instagram is probably a good one. But at the Keeg Show on all social media, TikTok and Instagram are two biggest ones. We're also on Blue Sky and Threads and all that. At the Keeg Show / the Keeg Show, including patreon.com/the Keeg Show, if you want to give back to the Keeg. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up, so I'll keep people posted on that. Go to comicshoplocator.com, find a comic shop near you, support your local comic shop, support your local public libraries. Follow Drew, follow Jecky, follow one of the Comic Talk crew out there, because everybody is quality people, quality creators. That's pretty much it. I think that's everything. Anyway, once again, I'm your host, Dimithri Perera, and this has been another episode of Comic Talk for the week of December 26, 2025. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace.